Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the wheel of life.
Boom!
Boom!
Hey guys, welcome back. Believe it or not, but today we are going to reinvent the wheel. Sorry, I just had my kids laughing at me over dad jokes over the weekend, so I'm just bringing them strong. So we're going to reinvent the wheel, but this is the wheel of life. And OP, what's the wheel of life?
Okay, so the wheel of life is basically, as it pertains to goal setting, in general, has these 7 big boulders in our life that if we are able to accomplish this in a uniform way where we're giving the attention to all these aspects of life, the wheel actually turns at a very good pace. But when parts of our life don't match up to balance the other ones, then this wheel becomes very clunky and it's very difficult to get through life, right? And so let's go over those functions of the big boulders in life. Number 1 is health. Number 2 is finances. Number 3 is contribution. 4 is emotion. 5 is relationships. 6 is time. And 7 is career. And so we want to be able to look at all of those aspects of our lives, and we're going to grade them or rate them from 0 to 10, 10 being best, of how we actually function. And so this is a time to be very honest with yourself. This is the time to really determine this is where you're at. It doesn't mean that this is where you're going to be forever. It's just you got to have awareness of where you're at this point and grade yourself accordingly.
Yeah, and so the Greeks had this aphorism. They used to say that how important it is to know yourself. And what this wheel, as long as you're honest with yourself, will do is really help you identify what parts of your life you're stronger versus weaker. Please note that the 7 categories are not in order of preference or importance. I think that we would all agree that all 7 of these things are of equal importance. Sometimes we go through seasons of our life where we may neglect one or more or maybe all of the items on the wheel of life. But we all will agree that at the end of our lives, these are all things that are eternally important, right? How much do we contribute? What is our physical body? How important is that in allowing us to actually live our full lives? Our emotional well-being, our relationships. How do we spend our time? The one, of course, great limited resource. No matter what you say or do, time is a limited resource. How are you spending it? And so, if we're being really honest with ourselves, most of the time it's going to look like a hockey player's teeth in there. You're going to have a lot of ups and downs, a lot of black areas. Where maybe you're not living up. So when you look at your wheel, OP, what do you do? How do you analyze? When you see the strong areas versus the weak areas, how do you feel about this?
And so you've seen a picture now of what the categories are, right? And now we're going to show you a sample of one that's filled out. So what we want you to do is go from 0 to 10, and then you're going to say, okay, so I feel like in my career I'm a 7, boom, you shade that out, and then health, you're a 3, and then time, you're a 4, whatever. My biggest challenge, Tim, I've got a few, so I'm always looking to improve, but my biggest boulder, God, I hate to even say my biggest boulder, the one that I've written down that I'm pushing towards right now is I've got 3, but the top one is time. Time. That is the biggest monster that I've got to be able to carve out enough time to get done what I want, what's more meaningful to me in my life, because, I realize that you're not guaranteed tomorrow. I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. My brother passed away. This is real. And so what am I doing with my time so that way when I pass, what have I left behind? Anyways, that's a big thing for me. Health is another one that's on my tracker. Thank you, Tim, for helping me with that. So that for me is the biggest piece of the wheel. Time is it for me. But we want to be able to show you guys this so that way you can determine where it is that you need to start to focus. Here's the wheel. Where is the goal now? Okay, cool. That's the weak spot. Let's go there. And so now, last week we talked about mindset. Now we're talking about focus and direction and what that's going to mean to us.
Yeah, so as you look at your wheel, you want to visualize what would this thing actually look like if it was rolling. And if you find that it's going to be like kind of like a bumpy ride, if you've ever ridden on a flat tire, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The car is not going to go fast. It's going to have very bad gas mileage. So we want to find a way to even out those wheels. So look at yours. We're actually, if you guys put in your email address on the bottom of this, we'll send you a actual image of that. Where you can fill out and color in with your colored pencil, marker, or crayon, and take a look at what that wheel would look like on your vehicles. It's something that you would trust on your truck.
So if you opt in, guys, we're going to send you our layout. And this is pretty intense, but this is for those of you that really want to dig deep. We've got a format I put together that really just hits on all these forms and the ability to get your mind wrapped around your goal and then ask yourself some critical questions and then determine how big of an issue this goal is for you, and then you rate it and you work it, and then you have a better understanding when it's all said and done how you're going to be able to accomplish this. And so if you opt into that, we'll send that over to you as well. This will be great for you to prepare for the next upcoming videos that we have, right? The next two. You want to have this form so that way you can write stuff down and get through it.
So next week, definitely, guys, bring that wheel of life for the next video because we're actually going to be writing down some goals next week, doing a mind sweep using this. It's going to be really exciting, really awesome. Until next week, guys, focus on the goals. It's 2017. It's time to kick some ass.
Peace.